This script took 12 minutes to write. The one before it, 4.5 hours. Same quality, same structure, same retention rate. The only difference? I stopped fighting the process and started using a system that actually works. Let me be clear about what this video will and won't do. This won't give you a magic button that writes perfect scripts with zero effort. That doesn't exist. What this will do is show you how to cut your script writing time by 70% without your videos sounding like a robot wrote them. You'll still need to know your topic, you'll still need to edit, but you won't be staring at a blank page for 3 hours anymore. Here's what we're covering. I tested 17 different AI tools over 6 months. Used them to write 11 real scripts that generated millions of views. I'm going to break down the 3 tools that actually matter, show you what each one does well, what it doesn't, and which one I'm using now for every single script I write. Most creators I know are stuck in the same loop. They spend their entire weekend writing 1 script, maybe 2 if they cancel plans. They redo the intro 4 times. They can't get the hook right. They bounce between apps trying to find the right tone, and after all that, the video gets 1 to 800 views if the algorithm feels generous. Meanwhile, other creators with no team, no budget, and sometimes less experience are dropping 3 videos a week, each one formatted to hold attention, build curiosity, and actually convert viewers. They're doing it in under 30 minutes per script. The difference isn't talent, it's workflow. So I built what I call the AI scripting report card. 5 criteria that actually matter: ease of use, preparation quality, script output, features, and cost. Every tool gets rated on all 5. No fluff, just what works. Let's start with the one everyone knows. ChatGPT feels simple at first. Clean interface, familiar, but for script writing, it gets complicated fast. To get consistent results, you need to set up custom GPTs. That means uploading files, writing instructions, configuring settings. If you want it to handle your whole workflow, ideas, scripts, titles, thumbnails, you'll need a separate custom GPT for each task. And even then, prompting matters a lot. If you don't write detailed prompts, the output is generic. I asked it to write a script about Google VO3. The hook was weak. The script was too short. It capped out at 5 minutes even when I asked for 10. The deep research feature is useful. It pulled from 40 sources when I asked it to gather info on VO3. But when I fed that research back in for script writing, it ignored half of it unless I wrote a super detailed prompt. So here's the score. Ease of use, 7 out of 10. Preparation, 5 out of 10. Quality, 4 out of 10. Features, 5 out of 10. Cost, 7 out of 10 at $20 a month. ChatGPT is solid for research and brainstorming, but if you're expecting it to write a full polished script word for word, it's not reliable. Next up, Claude AI. The setup looks similar to ChatGPT. You can switch between models, tweak the writing style, and use projects to keep context throughout your workflow. The projects feature is actually pretty useful. You set a description for your video, upload files, add notes, and Claude stays focused on that specific project. That's better than just chatting in a blank window. But the same issue shows up. Prompting still matters. If you're vague, the results are weak. If you're detailed, it slows you down. I ran the same test, asked it to gather info on Google VO3. It scraped over 20 sources, but the output looked almost identical to ChatGPT's, just slower. For script writing, Claude does slightly better. The structure feels cleaner and the output is put in a Google Docs. The phrasing is also more natural, but it still mixes in bullet points and stage directions when I asked for a word-for-word script, and it also capped out at 5 minutes instead of the 10 I requested. The scores: ease of use, 6 out of 10. Preparation, 5 out of 10. Quality, 5 out of 10. Features, 5 out of 10. Cost, 7 out of 10 at $20 a month. Claude is solid for smaller tasks like brainstorming hooks or testing phrasing, but it doesn't bring much new to the table compared to ChatGPT. Here's the pattern I noticed. Both tools rely heavily on prompting, both cap out at 5-minute scripts, both struggle to maintain your brand voice, and both were built for marketers and bloggers, not YouTube creators. That's when I realized this wasn't about finding the perfect tool. It was about finding one built specifically for how we work. That's where Poppy AI comes in, and this is what I'm using now for every script I write. When you log into Poppy, it looks completely different. Instead of a chat box, you get a workspace called a board. Everything is organized visually, and right away, there's a built-in video tutorial from the founders showing you exactly how to use it. Most AI tools leave you on your own. You're hunting for YouTube videos just to figure out the basics. Here, every feature has a short walkthrough. You never feel stuck. On the left, you have buttons to add different types of content: chat windows, social media posts, transcriptions, images, documents, links. But the most powerful feature is groups. Groups are collections of references the AI pulls from. So I can create a group called My Videos and add 4 of my past YouTube videos. Now when I ask Poppy to write a script, it studies the exact tone, structure, and style I've used before. Then I create another group for research on Google VO3 and drop in videos about that topic. Instead of scraping random sites like ChatGPT or Claude, Poppy pulls directly from verified sources, videos that already have proven engagement. And here's where it gets better. Poppy lets you use the best models from both ChatGPT and Claude inside the platform without paying extra for their subscriptions. That alone makes them almost unnecessary because you're getting the best of both worlds in one place. Let me show you how this works. I'll unlink my own videos and only leave the group I made for Google VO3. Then I'll type a simple prompt, gather all the information from the attached videos in the Google VO3 group and give me everything I need to know for my script. The output is structured, neatly organized, and directly tied to what people on YouTube actually care about. Compared to ChatGPT or Claude throwing back general information from random sources, this approach uses content that's already been validated by real viewers. If a video ranks at the top of YouTube and has good engagement, the information inside it already matters to the audience. That's a huge advantage, and you don't have to go through that whole extra process of downloading research, saving it as PDFs, uploading it back into the AI, and constantly reminding it to use that data. You just connect your group of videos directly to the chat. Poppy uses them as the foundation. Now let's write the actual script. I'll type, use my brand voice, but write me a full YouTube script for a video on Google VO3 as the best AI video generator. Make it engaging, keep it in my casual but professional tone, and naturally include a call to action. Right away, Poppy starts pulling from my groups, mixing my tone with the content references, and giving me back a structured YouTube script. Looking at the output, it's honestly impressive. First, it keeps the script word for word instead of throwing in bullet points or visual instructions. Second, because it's pulling from my voice group, the phrasing actually feels closer to how I talk in my videos. It's not perfect. There are still some robotic phrases here and there, but it's way closer to usable than the half-fluff drafts we got from the other tools. The hook it generates is much more in line with YouTube. It actually sounds like something I would say because it's been trained on my own past content. It also includes rehooks throughout the video, which makes a huge difference for retention. Now, of course, the final quality depends on the effort you put into the setup. If you just throw in 1 or 2 random videos or use the normal chat box without connecting anything, the results will be similar to ChatGPT or Claude. But what makes it easier than sitting there prompting over and over again is that you're doing something that actually feels kind of fun. You're already on YouTube, you're grabbing a couple of your own videos, maybe even a few from other creators whose delivery style you like, and throwing them into a group. Instead of writing tons of text prompts, you're copying a few URLs, asking the AI for a script, and boom, you've got it. The feature I really want to point out is using Poppy as your analyzer. You get to decide exactly what content you want it to pull from. You can copy your own voice by linking your own videos, or you can mix in other creators' videos if you like their delivery. For example, let's say I want to make a video about growing lettuce, but I want it in the style of Mr. Beast. I could make one group with a video on growing lettuce and another group with a couple of Mr. Beast's videos. Poppy will blend those together and give me a script that explains how to grow lettuce in that high-energy Mr. Beast delivery style. And what's incredible here is just how visual the whole process is. Instead of writing long, complicated prompts, you literally just drag and drop a few videos and Poppy builds from that. So here are the final scores for Poppy. Ease of use, 9 out of 10. Preparation, 9 out of 10. Quality, 10 out of 10. Features, 9 out of 10. Cost, 9 out of 10. Poppy is clearly built for serious content creators, the type of people committed to growing their YouTube channels and consistently producing high-quality videos. Some well-known names like Pat Flynn, Matt Gray, and AI Guy are already using it. These aren't beginners, they're seasoned creators who understand the value of tools that actually deliver results. Let's talk about pricing. Poppy comes in at $319 a year, which works out to about $30 per month. That's literally just $10 more than ChatGPT or Claude on their own. And if you already have subscriptions to both, you're paying way more than what Poppy costs by itself. You basically get the functionality of Claude, ChatGPT, Grok, and other AI chatbots all rolled into one subscription. You don't need to keep paying for multiple tools. You just have Poppy and everything is right there. Out of all the tools in this comparison, Poppy AI comes out as the winner. While ChatGPT and Claude both had strengths in certain areas, neither was built specifically for YouTube script writing. Poppy nails it. It helps you go from idea to script in one smooth process. It lets you pull in your brand voice, copy delivery styles that already work, and even generate thumbnails or titles with the same system. If you're serious about YouTube and you want to make high-quality videos faster, this is the tool I'd recommend. I've tested everything else out there, and Poppy AI is the only one that consistently delivers. If you want to follow along with the exact setup I used, I'll leave the link in the description.